global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. A lot of Nigerians believe that ever since the emergence of Peter Obi, it has brought out some sort of national awakening over PVC registration and voting for the right candidate. Well, it looks like most Nigerians don't agree with that philosophy and theory, and they have decided to tell Nigerians exactly what has happened and what Nigerians should expect, those deputizing, and how Nigerians should vote in their lines. Having looked at this administration and saw the power Vice President Osibanjo had and still have, and the power that President Muhammad Buhari has and still have as sitting president and vice president, that should be a deciding factor, regardless of who is deputizing who. Let's go straight into the interview and the assets that he had. He said Bishop Fonshawe, in 2019 governorship candidate of the National Conscience Party (NCP), is the bishop of the Orthodox Anglican Church, Lagos Mainland. He speaks on the surge of PVC, and they asked him some questions. This is what he answered. So you are the recent inauguration of the Directorate of Politics and Governance of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, inaugurated its coordinators in Lagos. How do you see the establishment of this? He answered, he said, Christians group have always shown great interest in politics and governance, but when it comes to actual voter mobilization, they have always been very timid. However, from what I saw at the inauguration, what has been going on in recent times, the church will likely this time around not only mobilize its members but also give them specific instructions on who to vote for. They may be up for serious business this time around for the Christian community. That is what the DPG represents. All right, they now ask him questions like, how do you see the current upsurge in the demand for the permanent voters card, that's PVC? Do you think it will really destroy the existing voter apathy in the country? This is his response. Definitely, if people are registering to vote the way they are doing now, it will impact the voters turnout. The way there is an upsurge in voter registration, so it will reflect on the real voting. They will not get the cards and put them in their wardrobes, but for voting. Then I asked them, some people say that the upsurge in voter registration is due to social media hype caused by Peter Obi's emergence as Labour Party candidate. Do you think so? This is his response. The upsurge in voter registration has nothing to do with the emergence of Peter Obi as LP candidate, but people are looking at their economic and social situation and feel that there is need for them to better their lives and begin to associate with their PVCs. The race of who to vote for and who not to vote for will depend on happenings between now and the next 6 months. They asked him, what is your take on the current controversy over Muslim and Christian presidential tickets? Here is what he said. I refrain personally to be drawn into the argument of Muslim or Christian ticket. Let the parties present their candidate. Let us decide who to vote for. If you bring Muslim or Christian candidate, we will determine whether to vote for you or not. We do not decide for the candidate. Besides, personally, I do not even see where the Bible told me to vote for a Jew or a Gentile. The Bible is very apt that what is important in government is righteousness. So I may choose not to vote for a Christian by name, but as a character who has chosen to be righteous. The definition of righteousness is not based on the fact that you attend a church or have a Christian name. There are so many people who are Christians who attend church and have Christian names but do nothing to help the Christendom. Buhari's regime is a Muslim ticket, but how has it helped Christendom? Oh my God, that's not true, sir. With due respect, let me come in here very quickly before I continue with the AZ. Buhari's regime is a Muslim Christian ticket. Are you saying that Professor Senior Pastor Yemi Osibajo is a Muslim? Oh my God! Okay, I guess he's talking about the fact that Yemi Osibajo did not really impact so much on Christendom. So please, it's actually a Muslim Christian ticket, really. I guess in practical, he's actually saying the opposite. Let's continue with the essay, please. All right, they now asked him, how do you see the challenge of Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi, and a few other presidential candidates in picking their running mates? This is what he said. The entire race about picking the vice presidential candidate is just to appeal to voters. Voters should be worried that the vice president is just should be worried because the vice president is just a spare part. The president of Nigeria is very strong. The vice president is a silent partner in government. When Jonathan was the president, he had a vice president. A lot of people now may not even remember who he is and what his name is. His voice is all how he speaks. The candidates are just looking for who they will use to get votes. When Ekweme was the vice president, what was his contribution to the Igbos? Obasanjo gave Atiku an opportunity to perform, but he used it to better his lot. Whether the vice president does is at the advantage of the president. The candidates only want to get political footing. My God, this is as true as it can come. Then I asked him a question. There has been a lot of noise about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu documentation. What's your take on that? This is what he said. It is all politics, a storm in a teacup. Some of these old stories, some of these are old stories. All these allegations against Tinubu have been it has been in existence for a long time. They will all fizzle out. They did have effect. They did affect him as a governor or senator. He was first employed as auditor with Mobile, an international oil company. They would not have employed him at Mobile with her certificate. Then I asked him, would you say that vote buying will pose a major challenge in the 2023 general elections? This is what he said. As long as people are hungry, as long as poverty remains in the land, people will continue to sell their votes. The system in Nigeria has never prosecuted anyone for vote buying. We saw it in Ekiti, we will still see it in Osun. It is a reflection of whatever will happen in 2023 general elections. They asked him, how do you see the resignation of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Justice Tanko Mohammed, on health grounds after other justices of Supreme Court had petitioned against him, making some serious allegations? He answered, say, like everything in Nigeria, we may never know the truth about the resignation of CJN. We have only been fed with allegations and counter allegations, and the presidency will never say anything to the contrary. Every other thing is unverified allegations and stories. The national award given to him is not even an award, but normal. Every CGN that retires is given that award. His resignation is a form of retirement. Even Justice Onogan, who retired in controversies circumstances, got the award. The honor goes with the position of office, and it's not a case of being a reward. And then they asked him, Nigerian women are complaining that they were shortchanged by their major political parties during the primaries. They insinuated that the only one who was presidential candidate in APC withdrew at the last moment under mysterious circumstances. What's your take on that? This is his response. I don't know who prevented the women or who cheated them out of positions. In all the political parties, women were given preferential treatment. Some parties gave them forms at 50% discount, while some gave them forms free of charge. But the Nigerian women chose to play the role of supporters instead of leaders. It is not a general case. In Adamawa, the governorship candidate of APC is a woman. She's a serving senator. Her chances are very bright. She may become the first elected female governor. But one who steps into a position because someone is impeached, women should liberate themselves from mental slavery. They cannot. I take that again. From mental slavery that they cannot they cannot have it. If you look at the present setup, can we point at a woman who stands out like Mrs. Fumi Ransom Kuti or Waba Swaba, who people can really rally around? Can you point at a woman today who can stand shoulder to shoulder with Atiku or Tinubu? Women should relax and produce someone who they can rally around. Okay, all right, that's we'll wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation.